Want to speak real Italian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at ItalianPod101.com.
Hi everybody, Marika here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Italian questions. The question for this lesson is, when should I use formal Italian? First, let's see what formal Italian is and how it works. During formal situations in English, you may prefer certain words over others, or you may avoid certain constructions, but you don't need to change pronouns or verb patterns. Italian, however, has two different language registers, a formal or polite one, and informal or casual one. When addressing someone formally, you have to use a different pronoun and a different verb conjugation. The most important thing to remember is that the English second person singular you is translated as to in informal situations. In formal situations, it's translated as lei. Lei is also the third person singular feminine or she, but in formal speech it's used to address people of both sexes. So, if you are formally addressing a man using lei, make sure that the related verbs or adjectives are in the masculine form. Let's see an example. If you want to ask, "How are you?" in Italian, you have two options. Tu, come stai, is informal speech, and lei, come sta, is formal speech. Subject pronouns can often be omitted because the verb endings reveal the subject, so it's vital to conjugate the verbs accordingly. Here's another example. Mario, sei andato in vacanza? Which means, Mario, did you go on vacation? This is casual Italian. Mario è andato in vacanza also means, Mario, did you go on vacation? But it's polite. You may want to use the first one with a friend of yours and the second one with someone much older than you. Now, back to the original question. When will you need to use informal Italian? Usually, Italians tend to be friendly and informal, so they often avoid using formal speech, especially among young people. However, polite Italian is better when you meet someone for the first time or when speaking to older people or to someone in a higher business position than you. In the past, it was common to use voi, which is the second person plural pronoun, as a formal way of addressing someone. Nowadays, lei is the standard formal pronoun, but you may happen to hear also voi in some parts of southern Italy.
In this lesson, you are going to learn how to introduce yourself in Italian. There are only 2 sentences to do it, but first it is important to clarify that in Italian there's a difference between formal and informal speech. Let's now see how Italians introduce themselves in an informal situation, referring to tu, Italian for you. Ciao, sono Consuelo, piacere di conoscerti. Hi, I'm Consuelo, nice to meet you. Ciao, sono Consuelo, piacere di conoscerti. So, you just need to say, ciao, sono, add your name, and then piacere di conoscerti. Ciao, sono Consuelo, piacere di conoscerti. And now, let's see the same sentence during a formal situation, referring to lei, the Italian courtesy form for you. Buongiorno, sono Consuelo Innocenti, piacere di conoscerla. Buongiorno, sono Consuelo Innocenti, piacere di conoscerla. What has changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a look at this. Ciao has been substituted with the formal greeting buongiorno, Italian for good morning. Sono Consuelo has not been changed. Sono stands in both cases for I am. However, during a formal self-introduction, we also say our last name. Consuelo, Innocenti are respectively my first and last names. Finally, the sentence piacere di conoscerla has switched conoscerti into conoscerla, since conoscerla is referred to lei, the Italian formal courtesy form for you. So, the formal way to introduce yourself is buongiorno, sono, here add your full name, and then piacere di conoscerla. Buongiorno, sono Consuelo Innocenti, piacere di conoscerla. If you use the correct sentence with Italians, they are definitely going to be impressed.
10 lines you need for introducing yourself. Ho studiato l'italiano per un anno. I've been learning Italian for a year. Ho studiato l'italiano per... I've been learning Italian for... And then you add the time you've been learning Italian for. For example, you can say ho studiato l'italiano per un anno. I've been learning Italian for 1 year. Or, in my case, for English would be ho studiato l'inglese per 8 anni. I've been learning English for 8 years. Il mio nome è Desiree. My name is Desiree. Il mio nome è, my name is, in my case, of course, my name is Desiree. Il mio nome è Desiree. You can just add your name. You can also say mi chiamo. It means I'm called. So, yeah, mi chiamo Desiree. I'm called Desiree. Ciao, è un piacere conoscerti. Hello, it's nice to meet you. Ciao, è un piacere conoscerti. Hi, it's nice to meet you. When, for example, you're inside a big group and you go like one by one introducing yourself, maybe you don't say every time è un piacere conoscerti, but you just say piacere, pleasure. And it's okay, it's nice. Vengo dall'Italia. I'm from Italy. Vengo da means I'm from. For example, I'm from Italy, vengo dall'Italia. I'm from Dubai, vengo da Dubai. So, vengo da, you can put the country name or the city, place, it's the same. Vivo a Roma. I live in Rome. Vivo a, I live in. Vivo a Torino, I live in Turin. Vivo a Roma, I live in Rome. I live in New York, vivo a New York. If you want to say the country, just put in. If you want to put the city, it's a. Vivo a Torino, vivo in Italia. Sono insegnante. I'm a teacher. Sono, and then you say your profession. I'm, when you're talking about your job, for example, sono insegnante, I'm a teacher, or sono un pescatore, I'm a fisherman. Anyway, sono, that means I am. It's the way to say what you're doing as a job too. So you just say I am and then your profession. Ho 22 anni. I'm 22 years old. Ho 22 anni. Ho numero anni. So I'm number years. I'm 22 years old. Io ho 22 anni. In Italian we don't say I am, but I have. So io ho means I have, and then you put your number of years. So io ho 22 anni means I'm 22 years old, but literally is I have. Mi piace ascoltare la musica. I enjoy listening to music. Mi piace, I enjoy, I like. For example, mi piace ascoltare la musica. I like listening to music. Mi piace leggere libri. I like reading books. Or mi piace molto mangiare. I enjoy eating a lot. Uno dei miei hobby è la lettura. One of my hobbies is reading. One of my hobby is reading. Uno dei miei hobby è la lettura. But you can also say uno dei miei hobby è leggere. So leggere with the verb or lettura, it's a noun. You can put both after one of my hobbies. Uno dei miei hobby è. Sto imparando l'italiano su italianpod101.com. I'm learning Italian at italianpod101.com. Sto imparando l'italiano con Desiree. I'm learning Italian with Desiree. Sto imparando l'italiano da solo. I'm learning Italian by myself. Or sto imparando l'italiano attraverso la televisione. I'm learning Italian through television. I'm learning Italian listening to music. Sto imparando l'italiano ascoltando canzoni. Great, that's a great way to do that. Come to the 10 phrases you always want to hear. Avevi ragione, you were right. Hey, why don't you add some salt? Perché non aggiungi del sale? I don't know. Oh, you were right, it's really tasteful. Oh, avevi ragione, è veramente buono. Ci sarà un bonus alla fine del mese. There will be a bonus at the end of the month. So you will be able to buy that dress that you really wanted, or maybe just save some money to travel. If you get a bonus at the end of the month, se hai un bonus alla fine del mese, save up money. E vinci tu, and you win. Maybe you're in a group of friends and you're discussing about what to do. After all the suggestions, you are the one who suggested the right one. So when everyone are like, yeah, let's do what you said, can be hai vinci tu, and you win. Or hai vinto tu, and you won. Hai fatto un ottimo lavoro. You did a great job. Of course, that's something that everyone would like to hear. Maybe just after some exercise, sports exercise, or school thing. Oh, you did a great job. Hai fatto un ottimo lavoro. It's something that can always apply, and yeah, you can always use it. Ottimo lavoro. Good job. Il budget è illimitato. The budget is unlimited. If you are buying something and you have an unlimited budget, well, that's amazing. You can buy everything. That's probably a dream. The budget is unlimited. Il budget è illimitato. It sounds so nice. Mi manchi. I miss you. Me means to me. So, to me, you are missing, basically. The meaning is the same, of course, but the verb, mancare, literally means something is missing. You can tell that to your partner, your friend, your family. Everyone would be happy to hear that, I think. Prenditi una pausa, farò io le pulizie di oggi. Take a break, I'll do the cleaning today. That's something really nice. Would it ever happen? I hope so. And yeah, let's think it will someday. Maybe it's even nicer to say prendiamoci una pausa. So let's take a break together and let's go somewhere. Let's go on vacation. Andiamo in vacanza. Sei una cuoca eccellente. You are an excellent cook. If you want to say that to a boy, it would be sei un cuoco eccellente. So eccellente stays the same, but cuoco is for boys, while cuoca is for girls. Everything was delicious, era tutto delizioso, or as kids do when they're not talking yet, this is buono, good. That was nice, good to eat. And you turn it. Stai benissimo oggi? You look great today. So if you're like different from the usual and people tell you, oh, you look great today, ah, stai benissimo oggi, that's nice. If you didn't change anything and people still tell you, you look great today, stai benissimo oggi, maybe they have something they would like to ask you or something to be forgiven for. If you want to say, you're really beautiful today, you can also say, sei bellissima oggi, or if it's to a boy, sei bellissimo oggi. Ti ho portato qualcosa di speciale. I brought you something special. And then you start to wonder, what is it? What can it be? Cake? Maybe? That would be nice. It's, I brought you something special. Can be maybe your favorite dish, your favorite sweet, your favorite cake, or a present. Would be nice too. So, you answer, grazie, davvero. Oh, thank you, really. Oh, non c'era bisogno. Oh, you didn't have to.
Want to speak real Italian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at ItalianPod101.com.
This time we are going to learn how to thank people. So, siete pronti? Are you ready? Cominciamo! Let's start! There are several ways to thank someone. Let's start with the easiest. It's just one word. Grazie. Grazie. Grazie means thank you. When saying thank you very much, you just need to add tante or mille, like grazie tante or grazie mille. Grazie tante or grazie mille. Tante means a lot, And 1000 means 1,000. Thank you 1,000 times. During the last lesson, we mentioned both the formal and informal way of speaking Italian. If you want to be more formal when thanking someone, you should say la ringrazio. La ringrazio. That was the formal way to say thank you when referring to lei, the Italian courtesy form for you. Ringraziare is the infinitive form of the verb to give thanks, to be grateful. How to answer? It's easy. There are basically two different ways to do it. The first is prego. Prego means you're welcome. The other way to say you're welcome is the expression non c'è di che. Non c'è di che means there's nothing about it. So, when someone is saying grazie to you, we can simply reply with prego or non c'è di che. Sometimes we can say them both, like prego, non c'è di che. For example, if someone is giving you something, grazie mille.
Prego.
Now it's time for Consuelo's tips. Remember, when in doubt, when it is more appropriate to use grazie or la ringrazio, keep it simple is always your safest bet. If you're not sure whether to use the formal or casual version, you can always simply say grazie. So, grazie mille a tutti. Thank you very much, everybody.
10 phrases to amaze native speakers. Woohoo! Grazie, ma in realtà io non sono un madrelingua. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker, actually. So it probably means that someone complimented you on your Italian, like, wow, il tuo italiano è perfetto. Wow, your Italian is perfect. Yeah, thank you, but I'm not a native speaker. Sì, grazie, ma non sono un madrelingua. If people tell you something and you answer in this way, means you have a high level, like high proficiency level of Italian. Good job. Ho capito completamente tutto quello che hai detto. I completely understood everything you said. Actually, maybe it's better to say ho capito tutto quello che hai detto. I understood everything you say. Because if you add completamente, completely, it's kind of too much. So, yeah, ho capito tutto quello che hai detto. They would be amazed. Like, wow, you're great. But then people will expect that you know everything, like really everything, and maybe use also different words. I would stay with the stay humble, like, yeah, I got the sense of that. Sì, ho capito il senso di quello che hai detto. So you can always surprise people and not make them expect that you know everything. But that's my personal tip. Ho studiato italiano per 10 anni. I've been learning Italian for 10 years. Well, that's amazing when I think that you did that for so long. 10 years is really long, but it's not really something to be proud of if you're still not able to talk a lot. So yeah, be careful with this phrase because you can amaze people because they would like admire you for how much efforts you put in your study. But yeah, if you have a high level or you feel confident in Italian or whatever language you're learning, you can say, hey, ho studiato l'italiano or some other languages per 10 anni. And that's amazing. But yeah, just be careful. Not to make the other person expect that you know everything. And then you don't. That it's completely understandable. But yeah, people would be amazed because you had such a long patience, basically. You were patient and studied so long. If you haven't been learning Italian for 10 years, but less, you just say the number and then add anni, like 2 anni, 3 anni, 4 anni. One would be anno and not anni. Or probably something that would amaze even more, it's when you say ho studiato l'italiano per neanche un anno. I've been learning Italian for not even a year and you know how to speak that, that's amazing. And yeah, people will be amazed. L'italiano è divertente e facile da imparare. Italian is fun and easy to learn. I can believe that it's fun for people to learn that, but I wouldn't say that it's easy. So if you tell a native speaker that you find it easy, I will be impressed, because we have so many verbs, so many irregular verbs, and we have articles like feminine and masculine. I understand that it's really hard to understand. Like who established what's feminine and what's masculine? But that's a secret. So yeah, if you find Italian fun and easy, quindi se trovi l'italiano divertente e facile, you amazed me. Mi ci è voluto solo un anno per diventare fluente. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. That's amazing, for real. As I was saying before, I know Italian is not easy, but you know that actually, I didn't know that, I just learned that, like I was reading an article, and it says that Italian is the 4th most learned language in the world. So we have English, Spanish, Chinese, and then Italian. I was really surprised about that. I don't know why so many people learn Italian, but if you find that fun and easy, you're welcome. Oltre a conoscere l'italiano, so parlare anche alcune altre lingue. Apart from knowing Italian, I can speak a few other languages. Yeah, that's great. But it always depends on, like, if you can say, hey, how are you, in 20 languages, that it's amazing. But, like, to amaze people, you need to have a high level. So, in my opinion, at least in my case, I would say that studying 2 languages at a time, it's already enough. Parlerò italiano come un madrelingua in 3 anni. I will speak Italian like a native speaker in 3 years. But if you're not that confident, maybe don't say that, because people will expect you to do that. Maybe people will be like skeptical and be like, oh, really? And how are you going to do that? Tell me, you master, Italian master. If you really know that you can do that, like maybe you are going to study abroad in Italy, staying there, spending there 2 years, also maybe 1 if you studied a lot before, I'm sure you will be fluent. So you can say that, but don't use it too much. Don't be overwhelming. If you want to say something not so strong, maybe you can say vorrei parlare italiano come un madrelingua in 3 anni. I would like to speak Italian like a native speaker in 3 years. And that's more acceptable. People will like it more. So I suggest you vorrei instead of I will, instead of parlerò. Parlerò is I will speak. Vorrei, I would like to. So yeah, anyway, keep it up. Posso guardare film italiani senza sottotitoli. I can watch Italian movies without subtitles. That's amazing, for real. How many times did I say amazing in this video? Anyway, well, actually, maybe it can be helpful to do that, because you pay more attention on what they do and you're not like, oh, it's okay, anyway, I can read the subtitle. No, you need to focus on what they say. And especially for Italian movies, like, I mean, Italian movies made by Italian actors, maybe that's also a good way to learn Italian, because they use a lot of gestures and you can learn like how to say I'm hungry. You do these on your stomach and it means I'm hungry, yeah. Or these, can we go? Yeah, so if you watch Italian movies, it's a good way to learn fun things actually, and to learn Italian idiomatic expressions maybe. So yeah, that's a good phrase to amaze people, but also a good phrase, a good thing to do to learn actually Italian. Posso memorizzare circa 50 nuove parole italiane al giorno. I can memorize around 50 new Italian words a day. That's a lot, like 50. Whoa. No, I would never be able to. But if you can, do that. And yeah, tell that to people, but that means that like in 1 week, you will have 350 new words. Yeah, if you don't manage to memorize so many words in a day, maybe you can change the number and say, for example, posso memorizzare circa 10 nuove parole italiane al giorno. I can memorize around 10 new Italian words a day. And that's cool too. I mean, as long as you can keep it every day, it's great. I would say it's not about how many words you learn, but how many times you do that. Like if you really manage to do that every day, you're basically done. You will manage to be fluent in no time. Keep it down, and then if you can make more, that's even great. Better, but still be humble if you manage to. Sto imparando l'italiano tutto da solo. I'm learning Italian all by myself. Wow. Again, wow. How do you learn a language by yourself? If you're not attending lessons, you can watch videos online, like you are doing now, or read books, grammar books, but also normal books. And watch movies, listen to songs, try to speak it with person, like real people, maybe native speaker would be better, that will correct you, or even if they will not, because they're not teachers, but just people you want to talk to, like friends, at least you can see if they really understand what you want to say. And that's a good way to check the improvement you have done.
Today, we learn some of the most common greetings used in Italy. Pronti? Are you ready? Allora, cominciamo! Let's start! The most used informal greeting is ciao. Ciao. Ciao means hi, hello, and goodbye. That's why we use it when we meet, but also when we leave. We should only use this greeting with relatives or friends. And now, let's talk about some more formal greetings. The one you're used to hear in Italy and at italianpod101.com is buongiorno. Buongiorno. Literally, buongiorno means good day. However, we could also interpret it as good morning or good afternoon. As a rule of thumb, we can use buongiorno only during the daytime from morning until evening. During the evening, we say buonasera. Buonasera. So, since sera obviously means evening, buonasera stands for good evening. Buongiorno and buonasera are used when we meet someone, but when we leave, we don't say them again. In this formal situation, Italians use arrivederci. Arrivederci. Arrivederci means goodbye. Finally, in Italian, we use the expression meaning see you soon, that can be considered both formal and informal. That is, a presto. A presto. Now, you can greet people in many different ways in Italian. Ciao. Ciao. Buongiorno. Buonasera. Arrivederci. Arrivederci. A presto. A presto. It's easy, isn't it? Now, it's time for Consuelo's tips. In formal situations, Italians commonly greet one another by shaking hands. On the other hand, if we meet someone we are very friendly with, we kiss each other on the cheek. Don't be afraid to do it with your Italian friends. It's normal. Ciao!
Ciao!
Top 10 compliments you will always want to hear in my language. So, let's start. Sei bello. You're handsome. Sei bello. You're handsome. You can actually use the female version as well. If you want to say to a girl or a woman that she's beautiful, you can say sei bella. You're beautiful. Sei un amico favoloso. You are an awesome friend. Sei un amico favoloso. You are an awesome friend. Means that you are a beautiful friend. So, sei un amico favoloso if you want to compliment a friend of yours in Italian. Il tuo curriculum è impressionante. Your resume is impressive. Il tuo curriculum è impressionante. Your resume is impressive. This is actually very good when you want to talk with someone about his job and you're actually looking at the CV, you know, and you want to compliment the guy or the girl or the woman, whoever it is, you know, for his job skills. Then you say, il tuo curriculum è impressionante. Also you can say, il tuo curriculum va molto bene. Ottimo lavoro. Great job. Ottimo lavoro. Great job. Means you actually say ottimo lavoro to someone when the work, the job that he has been asking to do is just performed at the best, you know. So you can also say lavoro eccellente as ottimo lavoro. They are the same thing. So you can say ottimo lavoro or lavoro eccellente, which means like they are actually the same thing. Quella giacca sembra carina addosso a te. That jacket looks nice on you. Quella giacca sembra carina addosso a te. That jacket looks nice on you. So this is something that you want to say when someone just is dressed in a way that you like, you know. So you can also say, I like the way I like the way you are dressed up, you know, like, and you can say mi piace come ti vesti. Mi piace come ti vesti, which is pretty similar to it. Hai buon gusto. You have a good taste. Hai buon gusto. You have a good taste. So hai buon gusto is actually, you know, usually Italian people have good taste, you know, especially food, fashion, you know, and all this kind of thing. So you can always say to an Italian person hai buon gusto. They will always appreciate it. Il tuo sorriso è bellissimo. Your smile is beautiful. Il tuo sorriso è bellissimo. Your smile is beautiful. It's not pretty much nothing to say about this phrase. It's just something really nice to say. Your smile is beautiful. Il tuo sorriso è bellissimo. Very good compliment. Sembri stupendo. You look gorgeous. Sembri stupendo. You look gorgeous. Okay, you might not say this to a guy, I mean, or a girl, or, you know, you might feel a bit shy and things like that. But you might think about this, you know. In that case, you say, sembri stupendo. You know, you're amazing. You look amazing. You know, you look gorgeous in this case, as a compliment. You know, ti trovo in splendida forma. You look in good shape. Ti trovo in splendida forma. You look in good shape. Another very nice compliment to do, to say to someone. That means that, you know, your body, your shape is, you know, is okay. So, you know, and people notice it. So if you want to say it to someone like that you haven't seen for a long time, an Italian friend of yours, you know, you can say ti trovo in splendida forma, and you will appreciate it for sure. Senza di te non sarebbe lo stesso. Without you, it wouldn't be the same. Senza di te non sarebbe lo stesso. Without you, it wouldn't be the same. So this is something quite powerful to say to someone. It's more than a compliment, really. You know, it's when you actually cannot say without the person or things like that. So it's something really, really important, and something that you might bear in mind because it's really important. Senza di te non sarebbe lo stesso. So it's something really, really, really nice to say to someone. How to respond to how are you question in Italian. So let's start. Come stai? How are you? Come stai? How are you? Let's say you are meeting your Italian friend that you haven't seen since a very long time and you want to surprise him with some nice Italian questions. So you can say, come stai? E tu? And you? And the answer is actually, e tu? And you? Come sei stato ultimamente? How have you been recently? Come sei stato ultimamente? How have you been recently? Sto bene, I'm fine. Sto bene, I'm fine. Non male, I am not bad. Or also, non male, I am not bad. Anch'io sto bene, I'm fine too. Anch'io sto bene, I'm fine too. Mi sento male, I am feeling bad. Mi sento male, I'm feeling bad. So, mi sento male is definitely when you want to say that you're not right at all. Sto bene, I'm okay. Sto bene, I'm okay. Which is the contrary of saying sto male. Say sto bene, sto alla grande, I am great. Or sto alla grande, I'm great. Grazie per avermelo chiesto. Thank you for asking. Grazie per avermelo chiesto. Thank you for asking. I mean, this is something quite nice to say all the time when someone asks you about how you are, you know, you say, I'm fine, thanks. And you? Sto bene. Or anch'io sto bene. Grazie per avermelo chiesto. Which is like, you know, thank you for asking. And then, of course, if you're not remembering how to say thank you for asking in Italian, which is like grazie per avermelo chiesto, you can say just grazie. You just end the thing in a very nice way.